Hello and good evening. You're joining me on a very peaceful and calm night in South Wales, and we're going to do a local camp, primarily to test out some new gear and trying to go kind of as light as I can really. So we've got the Montane Trailblazer LT 28 litre backpack on. That includes water, food, 2 cameras, mini tripod, batteries, all that kind of stuff. And we're coming in at 7.5 kilos, which probably a bit on the heavy side for a backpack this light. The backpack weighs less than 400 grams, but it's carrying pretty comfortably, feels okay. So it's a bit of a short local camp just to see, what gear do I actually really need to take out. I've probably got too much gear with me today, even though it's only a small backpack. The other bit of gear I'm going to test out is the Bach Heads Up Pro Bivy, which I've not seen anywhere online, any videos or reviews of this Bivy at all. So it's supposed to be very breathable, very rugged, a 4-season Bivy as well, it's advertised as being. So really interested to try that out because I think it's a pretty cool bit of kit. So only a very short walk tonight. We parked, we cheated, we drove up to Minifis Line, parked up, and then just done a tiny bit of ascent to get to the top of Montane, which is my kind of go-to local spot because normally it's very peaceful, very isolated. Despite being in some busy valleys, it's actually pretty remote up here, and it's a beautiful place to camp. Lovely views. I can see the sea in that direction above Cardiff. I can see Steepholm and Flatholm Islands out there tonight. And then looking the other way, I can just about see the Brecon Beacons, although it's a bit hazy, so I can't quite see the distinct shapes of Corndeep, Anavan and Cribbin. I've also got a sleeping bag that I snagged on eBay for about 80 quid. And it's a Sea to Summit Spark Zero. So it's very much a summer sleeping bag, down bag, weighs 205 grams, packs down, not much bigger than an apple. Absolutely insane bit of kit. And I think I snagged an absolute bargain for about 80 quid. In terms of testing the Bivy, we're not expecting any rain tonight, get it fairly clear. But it's pretty humid, it's been a lot of rain recently. It's quite muggy. It's going to be, I think, given the quite stillness up here now, going to be a very heavy dew tomorrow. So it's going to test the idea that this is a very highly breathable Bivy using some magic electro-spun nylon material. And it says it's very breathable, but it's also got a 10,000mm hydraulic head on the outer material and also 10,000mm hydraulic head on the ground sheet. So really has its 4-season credentials with the waterproof rating, but it's also supposed to have the breathability so that you can actually zip it up properly and not get soaking wet. But remains to be seen. Single skin Bivies, I'm sure anyone watching who's used Bivies before will be just as cynical as I am about some of the claims made by manufacturers around breathability. So we're walking on common access land now, so you're free to walk around wherever you want to. And rather conveniently, every year it's got several farmers have got grazing rights up here. So one of them comes up here and mows different sections every year. So the grass is reasonably okay in terms of length up here for pitching, but it's extremely tufty a lot of places. So I'm just walking around trying to find somewhere where it's going to be reasonable to actually get a night's sleep and pitch the Bivy properly. So there's my kit, fully loaded, fully packed for an overnight camp with food and water, weighing out 7.5 kilos, with a couple of cameras as well, and obviously the little tripod that this camera is mounted on now. So we have got 800ml water bottle. We've got the Bach Heads Up Bivy Pro in regular, so that's the Bivy. It's quite a sizable thing, but these side mesh pockets are really generous because I've also got a pair of sunglasses in there, a cookie that's crushed a bit, and I've also got on these really cool front pockets, which on the shoulder straps, got a decent chunky phone. I've got a camera hanging from that, my Action 4, which I switch with the camera I'm using now, so it goes in and out of the pouch, and a tripod I hang on the other side, and I've got some sun cream and earphones in the other front pocket. In terms of what we got on the inside, we have got loads of gear, to be honest. It is actually waterproof, this bag, but I always put things inside a waterproof bag anyway, just to be doubly safe. So, a load of spare batteries and stuff for the cameras, water filter, a bag of snacks. So we haven't got a cook system with this because I don't often take a cook system like this, but it is quite a hefty bag of snacks. Ultralight layer, a Vorday layer, a bag with all of my toiletries, safety stuff, head torch, lights, air pump, all that kind of gear. So it's quite a chunky thing. Could probably reduce that further, battery bank, chargers, all that kind of stuff. But it's kind of my go-to kit for any kind of overnight camp, whether I'm going ultralight or not. Waterproof packable layer. And I've also got the OEX Furnace 8 Plus Thermalite sleeping bag liner, just in case it's a bit cold tonight, just with a lightweight sleeping bag. I've got my OEX down jacket. I've got my wide sea inflatable pillow, really nice bit of kit that off AliExpress. That's the frankly insane Sea to Summit Spark Zero sleeping bag. It's just, I cannot get over how small it is. It doesn't even have a compression sack, just a little stuff sack to put it in. And then we've got the Nemo Tensor insulated, R rating of I think 4.2. So a nice mummy sleep mat there. And also got a bag of thermal layers, so it's a thermal top, spare socks and thermal leggings as well. So you could definitely go a lot lighter than I've gone tonight and a lot more compact, but I've tried to sort of think about all possibilities. So that is it for inside the bag, but down the back here we have also got my X-Bed sit mat as well. Just gives you some extra padding, and also just love these things, just absolutely fantastic invention. So once you've got all the stuff out of the bag, it is very light, very compact, and you could have put more stuff in here as well. But no, tonight I've gone with probably too much gear, but yeah, wanted to see exactly what I could take in this. And the walk up, to be fair, the bag carried pretty well, didn't feel too overloaded despite having a lot of weight in it. Well, lightweight camping, so far so good. The bivvy setup, everything's inside. There's room, I reckon, to get my boots in there as well. So I have got a dry bag I could put them in outside the tent, or outside the bivvy, but obviously it's quite good if you can get everything inside safe, don't need anything outside if the weather's changeable. So I'm not entirely sure if the Montane bag is kind of rated for about 7.5 kilos or not. It did feel okay in the walk up, but I tried to check the website about what the weight limit on that bag was and couldn't find any. But 7.5 kilos seems a bit much for a 28 litre bag of that kind of flimsy nature and stuff. But no, so far all good. It's hopefully going to be a reasonable night. There's a few clouds in the air. Could be a spot of rain. It looks like there's some rain in the distance. But we're all set up, ready to go. We'll just see how the condensation is and see whether this is a practical setup for sort of long day hikes and short overnight stays and stuff. But yeah, really pleased with the gear so far. Plenty of space inside. Materials feel really nice on the bivvy. Yeah, I'm hoping this bivvy is going to be the one that finally convinces me that you can take a bivvy and have a decent night's sleep and not be absolutely soaking wet from condensation. But the proof will be tomorrow morning, so I will catch up with you then. Well, quite a grey morning. As has happened a lot this summer, the forecast is not quite what they said it was going to be. So it's pretty grey, pretty cold as well. Really, doesn't feel quite like August. Feels a bit more autumnal. But the lightweight setup worked absolutely brilliantly
slept really well. The Bivy is fantastic on first impressions, no condensation, plenty of air throughout the night. Had it completely zipped up without any issues. The sleeping bag, for the weight, like 205 grams, was plenty warm enough. Not the easiest to get it out because only got like a quarter length zip to save weight, but no, absolutely fine. Big enough and comfortable enough to sleep well in, despite the fact it packs down just absolutely tiny. So yeah, my boots are in the Bivy, all my gear. So as a lightweight option, sort of just go out and camp really quickly and easily. Yeah, it definitely works, and it definitely the best Bivy I've used so far. Possibly, I reckon, maybe probably one of the best Bivies you can buy. So certainly one of the priciest. But no, yeah, a successful lightweight camp so far.
Now, like all kind of lightweight, compact loadouts, the question is, can you get it back into the bag you brought it up in without too much hassle? So we'll find out now. Well, everything did successfully pack away. I have cheated a little bit in terms of I didn't bother putting my sleep mat, roll it back into the bag because I just couldn't be bothered because it's quite windy up here. So I just stuffed that into the bag, rolled up a little bit. Same in the Bivy, blowing away loads. Nowhere's going to spend time rolling it up and squeezing it back into the Bivy bag. I guess I could have just stuffed it into the sack, that would have been fine, but I figured why not just take advantage of these lovely stretchy pockets and just stuff it into the side of the bag. So yeah, everything fits in fine, and there's still a bit more room in the roll top, so I could definitely put more stuff in there. So yeah, I think 28 litre bag for this kind of camp does actually work. Yeah, the question is really just checking the weight on this bag. Is it suitable for sort of 7.5 kilos and stuff? And looking back, what could I take out for next time that I definitely didn't use and didn't really need tonight? So I think there's a few things I could have definitely taken out: the thermal clothes, the thermal sleeping bag liner, some of the emergency kit and stuff that I just didn't use and perhaps wasn't likely to. I don't know, but yeah. First real trial at going as lightweight as possible. I mean, I've got a couple of light tarp and Bivy combinations I could have used, but for an all-in-one setup, 28 litre bag, 7.5 kilos, including food and drink and camera gear, pretty good. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll do follow-up videos at some point on some of the gear I've used and stuff, and I've got a few more reviews coming up as well. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, then do subscribe to the channel. But I'm going to head home, have a nice warm shower, and hope the day improves. And hopefully I'll catch you in the next one.